We are continuing on using law of sines to solve oblique triangles. Lauren, again, what's an oblique triangle?
A triangle that doesn't have a 90-degree angle.
Outstanding. A triangle that does not have a 90-degree angle is an oblique triangle. Yesterday, Christian, what type of information did they give us on the problems we worked with?
They either gave us 2 degrees on one side, or 2 angles on one side, or one
Stop
angle.
there. Stop there. All we worked with yesterday was 2 angles inside. That was all we worked with yesterday was 2 angles inside. Okay, but we mentioned the other scenario yesterday of the other type of information they're going to give us whenever we use law of sines. And Bobby, what was that information?
One angle with 2 sides and
One angle with 2 sides, and one
one of those sides.
of those sides has to match. Kendrick, what do I mean by a match? Matthew?
It's like you have the degrees and the corresponding side.
Okay, so if I have angle A, I also have to have
Side.
side A. That's what we mean by a match. So if I'm going to have one angle and I want to use law of sines, one of the 2 sides has to match the angle that was given. If it does not match, I can't use law of sines. I have to use law of cosines, which we'll get to later. But today we're using law of sines. Doing law of sines when they give me one angle and 2 sides, and my side matches. Now, there are 3 different things that can happen whenever you're giving this type of information.
Does that mean change or difference of, or is that
Triangles.
Circles
Means
and
triangles.
lines.
Yeah, I mean, yes. What you're talking about, it can mean change. Yes,
it's just a triangle?
it's just a triangle.
Okay.
So if they give me one angle with 2 sides and one of my sides matches, that means that there can be a possibility that it will produce no triangles, 1 triangle, or 2 triangles out of the information they give me. Okay. So let me give you a visual to kind of help you see what we're talking about here. Alright, so this is the situation where there are 2 triangles. So let's notice the information that was given. They are giving me this angle, they are giving me this side, which is 28, and they're also giving me this side, which is 25. But notice what can happen with that side. It can be placed in 2 different positions. So it can produce 2 different triangles. So I've got one triangle that is right there, and I've got another triangle that is the bigger one out there. Okay? Now, we need to notice something. Since they gave me angle A, what else did I say they have to give you? Side A. And what is side A in this case? 25. Why does it have to be 25? Because it's opposite. Okay, whatever an angle and the opposite side have to match. So that means they gave me 25. Something we need to notice from this picture is, how does 25 relate to the other side they gave me? How is 25 related to 28? And it is smaller. Okay? So, if the side that is matching is smaller than the other side, whenever that happens, that is the case where we're going to end up with 0 or 2 triangles. If the side that matches the angle given is smaller than the other side, my possibilities are 0 or 2. It can never be just 1. If the matching side is smaller than the other side, my only possibilities are there will be no triangles or there will be 2. So if the matching side is smaller than the other side, you're either going to get 0 triangles or you're going to get 2 triangles. So what does it mean if the matching side is bigger than the other side? That is where you're going to get 1. Okay, so you will get 1 triangle when the matching side is larger than the other side given. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through 3 examples, and we're going to have 1 example of each. 1 of a no triangle, 1 of a 2 triangle, and 1 of a 1 triangle. Alright, so let's get started. Angle C is 27 degrees, angle B is 12, and side C is 18. Angle C is 27, side B is 12, side C is 18. So first off, what tells me I can use law of sines?
Match.
I've got a match. If I've got a match, I can use law of sines. Okay? Second thing I want to determine is what?
Angle B.
The number of triangles I can have. So how many triangles can I end up with here?
2.
I'm guaranteed 1. Natasha, why am I guaranteed 1?
Because C is bigger than B.
Because the matching side is bigger than the other side. So if your matching side is bigger than the other side, you get 1 triangle out of it. So that means I need angle A, I need angle B, and I need side A. So, Hunter, of angle A, angle B, and side A, which one of those 3 do I need to find first?
B.
B. Why?
Because you already have B up there.
Because I have B up there. Okay? So since I have B, that means I can find angle B. Now yesterday, whenever we were setting up our ratios, what was always on top?
The
The
side.
side. Why was the side on top?
Because we were trying
That's what we were looking for. So today, what needs to be on top?
to
The angle needs to be on top. So that means when I set this up, I want sine of B over 12, and that needs to be equal to sine of 27 over 18. Bless you. Any issues with that? So now I need to get B by itself. So what do I do to get B by itself? Multiply. So I have sine of B equals 12 sine of 27 over 18. I need to get rid of that sine. So what do I do to get rid of the sine to get B by itself? Nope. Inverse sine. Inverse sine gets rid of it.
Yay. Wait. Oh, okay.
Why does inverse sine get rid of it?
Because sine and
I just
they
don't want
cancel
to use
each other
sine
out.
and inverse sine without it.
Right, because if I put inverse sine over here, what happens when these two match
Sine
up?
and inverse sine cancel out.
They cancel out, and so I end up with B. So whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side, so that's why that ends up over there. So now I'm ready for my calculator. Alright, so I want to add a calculator, so we need inverse sine to begin with, so I go to trig. There's inverse sine. What's inside of my inverse sine? A fraction, so let's do control divide. And on the top, I have 12 sine of 27. 12 sine of 27. And on the bottom was what?
18.
18. I press enter. There's my angle. Remember, on angles, I want you to round to 1 decimal place or truncate to 1 decimal place. So 17.6 is going to be my angle.
So we'd have to change our calculator.
When you're using law of sines and law of cosines, it's going to be in degrees.
Okay.
How can you do log teams?
No, just law of sines and law of cosines.
Girl, you get 2 steps ahead.
Alright. So after I find angle B, what's going to be my next step?
Find A.
Find angle A. What am I going to do to find angle A?
You're gonna switch sine of B.
Just add.
Add and subtract. Because if I've got 2 angles, I can automatically get the third. So I'm going to add these 2 together and subtract. So 27 plus 17, that is 44.6, which gives me 135.4.
I don't care what it is.
So I get 135.4. So now what do I need to find?
The side of A.
I need to find side A. Christian, set it up for me to find side A.
Okay.
You got this.
So what you do, sine of 135.4 over, no, since we're finding side, A has to be, the lowercase a has to be on top.
Very good. So A over.
Okay, sine of 135.4, and then you can do equals, we do 12 on the top, and then angle sine of 17.6.
Do I want to do that?
No.
I want to do C because why, Bobby? Because yeah, I found B. I always want to use the information they gave me if possible.
Okay.
So I want to use 18 over sine
Sine of 27.
of 27. Move the A or move the sign over. So 18 sine of 135.4 over sine of 27. I'm gonna punch that in for me real quick. 27.839. Make sure your answers are reasonable. My largest angle is A, which means my largest side is A. It is. My smallest angle is B, which means my smallest side should be B, and it is. So my answers are reasonable. We're ready to move on. Any issues with that? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, angle A is 26 degrees. Side A is 5, and side B is 9.
So we know we're gonna have one triangle. Because of the
It's going to be 0 or 2.
I'm gonna go with
So-
0. The matching angle. is
Yes.
smaller.
Okay, here's my match. Notice that this matching side is smaller than the other side, so that means I'm going to get 0 or 2. So that's what I want to determine first, is 0 or 2. So I need to find angle B, I need to find angle C, and I need to find side C. So, Kaylee, what do I need to find first? Angle B, angle C, or side C?
Angle B.
Angle B. Now, whenever you're doing these 0 or 2 the 0 or 2 triangle problems, whichever one you have to find first, you want to put a star by it, and you'll see why here in just a second. So whichever angle you find first, put a star by it, because we're going to need that here in a second. All right. So I need to find angle B. So set that up for me, Kaylee.
Sine of 26 over 5 equals sine of B over 9.
Very good. So I kick the 9 over. What else do I need to do besides kick the 9 over? Inverse sine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all at once. So I need inverse sine of 9 times sine of 26 over 5. So somebody do that for me. 52.1. So we'll go with 52.1. Now I need to find angle C. So what do I do to get angle C? Add and subtract. So 26 plus 52 is 78.1. So that gives me 101.9.
So, before we weren't allowed to use things we found to find new things. We had to use what was given. Are we allowed to do that with this
In
stuff?
this case, when you're dealing with 2 angles, or when you're dealing with 3 angles, and you found 2, what do all 3 angles have to do? They have to equal to 1 angle. So this is that one scenario where it's an exception,
Okay, so just the angles.
just on the angles. If you've got 2, the other one has to add up to 1 angle. All right, so Sakai, set it up for me to find side C, please.
Alright, C over triangle.
Leave her alone. She's doing fine.
5 over triangle.
Very good. So 5 over sine of 26. So I get C equals 5 sine of 101.9 over sine of 26. And what do we end up with there?
11.167.
Can't be. It's got to be. Oh, you may be right. Yeah, you're right. Never mind. 11 point what?
160.
I'm thinking about something down the road. Now, what did we say about this problem at the beginning? It's got to be 0 or 2. So I just found 1. So what else does that mean?
You need to
There's
find
two.
another.
There's got to be 2. So that means I
You need to find
need
the second.
an angle B with the subscript of 2. I need another angle C, and I need another side C.
So
That is correct. And you'll see that on the next problem. What's going to happen whenever there's 0.
Alright, here we go.
Now, there's a reason why we identified our first angle. Okay? If we go back to that picture we had earlier, the angle we just found, whoops, where's it at? I got too much stuff. Alright. The angle we just found, what type of angle is this?
Acute.
That's acute. So, there we go. So what we just found is we found one of these two angles down here at the bottom. Which one of these two angles does it have to be? Has to be the one on the right because the one on the right is acute. How is this angle right here related to that angle there?
Are they the same?
They're not the same.
They
They add up to 180. They are supplementary. Because if I take this piece right here and then I flip it and put it over here, it's going to be an exact match for that side. So that means once I find this first angle, what do I do to get the angle for the second one? Subtract it from 180. So now you will understand why I put this star on here. Why did I put this star on here?
It's an important thing.
To know which angle I need to subtract 180 from. Okay? Because if I don't put this star, then I don't know, do I need to subtract B or C? Okay? It's always the angle I found first. So I subtract this from 180, and it gives me what I want for angle B. So what do I end up with on angle B?
27.9
degrees.
So I get 127.9, and then I can automatically get angle C to be what?
Would you add A and then B to?
27, no, 26.1. Oh,
26.1.
Yeah. Okay. So how'd you get that? Just to make sure.
127.9 plus 26.
That's
We
what
took We took this angle plus that angle and subtracted it from 180 to give me that. That gives me that. Alright, then to find this other side right here, all I have to do is go in here and change that 101.9. The 101.9 gave me this side, so what do I need to change the 101.9 to? I need to change it to 26.1. So when I punch that in, what do I get?
Why don't you have to change the lines?
We'll get there in just a second. Let me get the answer, then I'll come back to you. 5.017. Okay. And that should make sense because 26.1 is very, very close to 26. And what side goes with 26? 5. So that means 26.1 should have a number that's very, very close to 5. Okay. Now, Rachel wants to know, why did I not have to change that part of my problem? Because these both right here, these both belong to A, and A is the what I got originally. So if they give it to you originally, that means it works for both triangles. Yes.
How'd you get angle C2 again?
Once I had angle B,
Right.
once I had B2, and then I combine it with angle A, add those two and subtract 180. Say it again.
Like what's the rule to solve C? Like you add A and B.
This one right here, the angle C or the side C?
Angle C.
Angle C. If they give it to me in the prompt, so if they give me this right here, that means that works for both triangles. Okay, this works for my first triangle, it works for my second triangle. So, once I find one angle, I've also got another angle. And if I've got 2 of 3 angles, what do I do to get the third angle? Add them and subtract 180 because 3 angles of a triangle have to do what? Add up to 180.
Yeah, it's kind of.
So once I find this one still goes with it, and then I subtract and it gives me the other.
I know.
Then all I have to do is change this spot, and that gives me the other side to go to.
Okay.
Alright, so let's recap this problem before we get to the zero triangle one. First thing we decided was it 0 or 2? Gage, why did we decide 0 or 2?
Because the matching side was smaller than the other side.
Very good. The matching side was smaller than the other side, so that means my only options are 0 or 2. So then we set it up to find this. Reagan, why did we find angle B first?
Because you have one of the sides open. The other side-
Because, yes, they gave me side B. Whichever side they give me, that's the angle I have to find. Once I found this one, I find this angle. I set it up to find the other side. If I chose 0 or 2 and I can find the first triangle, what does that mean?
Star.
There's the second one. How do I get started on the second one? Subtracting my first angle from 180. Then I use that angle plus the original angle, subtract it to get my other one, and then I change.
I'm gonna get so mixed up. I can already.
I change my angle, and it gives me my missing side.
Why did we use B?
Why did what?
Why do we use B as a?
Because that's the side I got. Whatever side they give me, that's the angle I have to find first.
Okay.
So, and that's why whatever angle I found first, that's the one I have to use. All right, last example. All right, angle B is 63 degrees. Side A is 6 and side B is 5. First, I determine how many triangles are possible. So 0 or 2. So I set it up. I want angle A, I want angle C, and I want side C. Okay, what do I have to find first? Angle A. Since I'm finding angle A first, I want to put a star by it. Okay, Kendrick, set it up for me to find angle A, please.
Would you do sine of A?
Hold on, I'm talking to Kendrick.
Sine of A over 6.
Sine of A over 6 equals.
Sine of 63
No, I'm not.
over 5.
Over 5, very good. So now I need to get the A by itself. To do that, I multiply the 6 over and do what else?
Make it.
Make it the inverse. Alright, and let's see what happens when I punch that in. So, trig, inverse, control, divide. I have 6 sine of 63. What was on the bottom? 5, I press enter. Undefined. So whenever you punch it in and get undefined, that tells me I'm dealing with a no triangle problem.
So we don't have to. That's all you have to do.
I'm done with that problem, moving on to the next.
I think those are gonna be my favorite.
Is there any
specific reason?
Wait, how did this?
Yay! I got it. Okay. So we're
Well-
gonna tell without having to put it up.
No.
Or you might just
That means
Or rectangle or octagon.
that means if I've got 63 degrees there, and this thing is 6, and this thing is 5, this side right here will never be long enough to reach this.
Oh.
That's what's going on there.
If it's too long, does it work if it's too long?
Well, it can't be too long, because if it's too long, you can always swing it out here and eventually pick it up over there.
And that's why you can have one possible.
That's why you're automatically going to get one. Alright, so, law of sines, this was one angle with a matching side. I'm guaranteed to get one triangle if the matching side is bigger than the other side. I'm going to get 0 or 2 if the matching side is smaller. Okay? So once I get started, and if I can find the first triangle, then I know there is a second one. How do I get started on the second one?
need to subtract the first one from 180.
Subtract the first angle you found from 180, that gives me that, then I can automatically get the second angle, and then all I gotta do is find the missing side. Okay. So that's how you use law of sines to solve an oblique triangle. Blake, what's an oblique triangle?
Triangle with no 90-degree angles.
Triangle without a 90-degree angle. Okay, so that's how you solve an oblique triangle when you're giving one angle and two sides, and one of your sides matches.